Lake Guanavita, Colombia. Believed to be the site of an ancient meteor crater, this circular-shaped mountain lake is at the center of one of mankind's greatest searches. The search for El Dorado, the lost city of gold. Since the 16th century, El Dorado has been the holy grail for fortune hunters. Legends abound about a place full of untold riches somewhere in South America. Yet to this day, the mythical city remains undiscovered. But if such a magnificent place does exist, how has it eluded explorers for centuries? Some believe the answer lies within this mysterious lake.
The story of El Dorado developed from the Lake Guanavita that was within the territory of the Muisca, or the Chibcha people, which was a chiefdom. Not quite as high civilization as the Incas or as the Aztecs, but a chiefdom with civilization itself that had a lot of gold.
The ruler in the southern half of the Muisca territory was known as the Zipa, but the conquistadors who arrived there in the 16th century called him El Dorado, Spanish for the Golden One. They gave him this name after observing Muisca's most sacred ritual. The Zipa would float out on a wooden barge to the middle of Lake Guanavita to make offerings of gold to a god believed to live at the bottom of the lake.
It was said that the chief, adorned with resin and then adorned with gold dust, would jump into the water in order to wash the gold dust off, and that this gold would accumulate in that lake, and that golden objects and sacrifices would be thrown into that particular lake. And from that came the belief of El Dorado around Colombia.
In 1912, an excavation of Lake Guanavita was led by British engineer Hartley Knowles. Knowles reported that he had recovered around $20,000 worth of treasure, including golden artifacts, but he also believed much more lay beneath the hardened lakebed. Could Knowles find the evidence that the story of the Muisca chief is based on truth? If so, just who or what was the so-called god who dwelled at the bottom of the lake?
A number of researchers have suggested that ancient aliens have come to Earth primarily to mine gold. Zechariah Sitchin suggested that these extraterrestrials needed gold to suspend in their atmosphere and preserve their planet. Is gold something that's really important to space exploration and to astronomy? Well, it actually is very important. The reason why is because gold is an inert material. It doesn't react with anything. The other thing that's very important about it is that it is a wonderful conductor of electricity. And last but not least is the fact that gold is a perfect reflector of infrared energy. You can use gold blankets to protect spacecraft against the intense heat of a star or any sort of heat source.
Kanab, Utah. Located on the western Colorado Plateau, this town of less than 4,000 is the site of a treasure hunt that's been going on for over a century. And what many believe is hidden among the mud rocks and canyons is one of the greatest lost treasures in the world. Something buried here that's a very dark and cost our lives. People have died over this. This ain't no funny games. This is for real. If you've ever seen Indiana Jones or National Treasure, that's fictional, but the treasure that we're looking after is real. And that's what all of those movies were based off of, is the truth and the history of the ancients. 20 years of investigation and research has us convinced that Montezuma's treasure is here in Utah. Montezuma's treasure in the American Southwest. Why would the lost treasure of a culture that existed in Mexico hundreds of years ago lie hidden in Utah? According to legend, the ancestral birthplace of the Aztec people is, in fact, somewhere in this area of the United States.
The Aztec mythology says that they came from a land called Aztlan. And this is a city that was apparently in what's now the American Southwest. Very, very advanced civilization.
In the Aztec stories, their homeland of Aztlan was created through an extraordinary event. An event that, according to ancient astronaut theorists, depicts an encounter with extraterrestrial beings. The Aztec chronicler Geronimo de Mendieta recorded a very interesting creation myth in which a goddess threw a giant flint knife from the heavens into the 7 caves of Chicamostoc, causing the birth of 1,600 gods. Imagine for a moment that you know nothing about high tech. You use words with which to best describe what you see. And all of a sudden, you have these giant flint knives descending from the sky.
So what are we really looking at here? That the 1600 settlers were in fact extraterrestrials crashing into on Earth and then brought their civilization to the indigenous people of that time.
According to Aztec codices, their ancestors were instructed by the gods to migrate south to Mexico around 1064 AD. Over the course of the next 500 years, they grew to be the greatest empire in North America. But on June 29, 1520, King Montezuma II was killed during the Spanish conquest of Mexico, and the Aztec Empire came to an end. What happened in the aftermath is debated by historians. But according to some accounts, the Aztecs gathered as much of their valuables as they could carry and fled to the north.
This treasure was spectacular. It was epic. It was hundreds of pounds of gold and silver and priceless objects. A golden disc the size of a cornfield that was shaped like the sun. They needed to get this treasure out to a safe place, and this is the story behind the Aztec exodus, north in what we now know as the American Southwest.
The Aztecs are said to have carried tens of thousands of pounds of gold, silver, and priceless relics north in the direction of their ancestral homeland. But why? Why would the Aztecs travel nearly 2,000 miles, putting both their lives and their treasure at risk, to reach a homeland that they had left over 500 years earlier? According to their own stories, the Aztecs' vast treasure was a gift for their most important god.
This wealth of the Aztecs was being held in safekeeping for their god, Quetzalcoatl. So it was a sacred treasure. Quetzalcoatl is said to have brought understandings of astronomy and astrology. He is really the father of the Aztec Empire. But we have to ask ourselves, is it possible that Quetzalcoatl was an historical figure and not just a mythological being?
Quetzalcoatl is represented as a feathered serpent, but also is represented as a being, the elder moon, who is sitting on a half-open sort of egg. Quetzalcoatl was definitely an extraterrestrial. If Quetzalcoatl really was an alien being, as ancient astronaut theorists suggest, Could this be further proof of Zecharia Sitchin's theory that gold is an important commodity to extraterrestrial space travelers? And might the Aztecs have brought their treasure back to their ancestral homeland in the hopes that Quetzalcoatl would exact vengeance on their enemies?
The purpose of his treasure was to preserve it as tribute for Quetzalcoatl when he returned and help them hopefully eventually vanquish their enemies. What's really interesting is that as you get into the American Southwest, what you find is that there are Aztec writings, Aztec hieroglyphs and petroglyphs on rocks even as far north as Utah. Perhaps somewhere they actually do have these treasures still stored away, still waiting for the day when Quetzalcoatl returns.
(1936), the Giza Plateau, Egypt. For more than 3,000 years, the body of the Great Sphinx had been buried beneath the sand. But after 11 years of work, Egyptian archaeologists uncovered the entire monument for the first time since antiquity. At 241 feet long and 66 feet high, it is the largest and oldest monolithic statue in the world. Even more incredible is its shape. The Sphinx has the head of a man and the body of a lion. Although Egyptologists date the construction of the Great Sphinx to the reign of the pharaoh Khafra in approximately 2500 BC, others claim its construction could be much, much older.
The Orthodox dates at about 2500 BC tagged on these monuments has been challenged by a group of researchers, including myself, who argued that the erosion of the Sphinx suggests a much older Sphinx.
Although Egyptologists have found no agreement as to when or why this strange monument was built, ancient astronaut theorists believe it may offer proof of extraterrestrials being present in ancient Egypt.
We see in many ancient Sumerian and Egyptian inscriptions of sphinxes, half man, half animal of some kind, and a variance to a degree of different combinations of animals and human beings. We have to wonder, why would they be doing this? And logically, it starts to make more sense when we realize a lot of these ancient texts explain that extraterrestrials came here and created us in their image and after their likeness.
If you believe the work of the late Zecharia Sitchin, where he believes that the Anunnaki came from a planet that is somewhere out in our solar system, and that they came here to mine for gold, but they figured they're not going to do the work themselves, so they decided to take what creatures were on this planet at the time, genetically alter them, and make mankind. And if that's the case, it's very possible that they could be using genetic alterations to experiment with not only just humanity, but a mixing of other species with humanity. Could the Great Sphinx be evidence of genetic engineering by ancient aliens? And if, as Zecharia Sitchin proposed, extraterrestrials were genetically altering humans and animals for the purpose of mining gold, might this enormous structure have at one point been a repository for that gold? Is it possible when Egyptian archaeologists began excavating the Great Sphinx, what they were really searching for was gold? Over the centuries, secret chambers, shafts, and elaborate tunnel systems have indeed been discovered all around the Giza Plateau.
A shaft was discovered called the Osirian Shaft, which led under the Giza Plateau behind the Sphinx. Now, in that shaft are various passageways that lead seemingly nowhere.
In recent years, ground-penetrating radar, or GPR scans, have been conducted which reveal evidence of numerous underground cavities located not only around the Sphinx, but underneath it as well.
From a scientific point of view, I'm not talking about speculation and theories and legends and so forth. That was the very first time that some strong indication that there might be these hidden tunnels and chambers under the Sphinx. And according to this, they found very, very strong evidence of what looked like artificial chambers.
It is not a question as to whether or not there is a secret underground passage underneath the Giza Plateau. The question is, can we get access to this? And of course, the all-important question is there something there of extraordinary value, maybe even something which defies science, which might even be of an extraterrestrial nature?
Kerala, India, 2011. Police officers with high-powered rifles stand guard at the entrance to the Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple, a sacred Vedic structure dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. Under orders from the India Supreme Court, appointees unlocked 5 secret vaults hidden beneath the temple that had been sealed for centuries. And door after door, they unearthed giant caches of relics, together valued at nearly $22 billion. But when they reach the final chamber, Chamber B, it cannot be opened. It has 3 doors. The first one is a kind of a great. The second is a heavy, finally is a strong iron door that is shut. It's stuck. The rooms in Chamber B are depictions of cloaks, terrifying monsters, suggesting that things will happen if you open this. And the last door has the box, it has the matches, there's a seal with a mantra. It's called Ashtadhara Abandana mantra, and no one knows what that mantra is.
Seems to be a bizarre curse around whatever is in this room. Anyone who tries to get into the room has all sorts of bad luck or even illness or fatalities.
But what is it that lies behind the door of Chamber B? Could it be simply monetary treasure? Or is it something more profound and dangerous? Indian texts, such as the Mahabharata, describe gods wielding ancient divine weapons and waging epic battles in the sky.
In the Mahabharata, there is a fierce battle that reads like modern-day science fiction with reference to unknown weapons and a single projectile charged with all the power in the universe, an armed thunderbolt, a gigantic messenger of death which reduced everything to ashes.
Is it possible that Chamber B is the hiding place for the kind of deadly technology described in the Vedic texts?
What's behind it is something special and dangerous. It's possible that what's inside of this unopened chamber is some kind of extraterrestrial technology that changed the world. Talking about extraterrestrial technology, which is not meant to be found, it is not meant to be understood, and it is not meant to be utilized by man.
Vishnu's treasures sealed behind the ironclad door of Chamber B, yet ancient link to some devastating alien technology. If so, might this mysterious treasure, like other so-called ancient lost treasures in Egypt, It's so full of mysteries. You have to open your eyes. There's so much to uncover here, so much treasure, and it's not just gold and silver, it's knowledge.
Dan has always been fascinated. Ancient treasures, and discovering these treasures. The gold, the silver, the jewels. But in other cases, it can be technology of the extraterrestrial gods themselves.
How you doing, John? Got the solid numbers there, do you?
We're at 142.
142.
142.
Okay. Jack Bingley and geologist Terry Matheson are monitoring the dip in the TOT-1 shaft as it heads deeper towards the solution channel and hopefully valuables over 200 feet underground.
So I'll take the measurement in about an hour and see what we're gaining per hour.
Alright, thanks a lot, John.
Alright, thanks guys. There's a lot of wood coming up here.
There's a ton of it, my friend. We're chewing through the side of the chapel shaft. In 1931, Melbourne Chapel, along with his father William and a treasure hunter Frederick Blair, constructed a 157-foot shaft in the money pit in a bold but unsuccessful attempt to retrieve the lake vault that William and Frederick had discovered in 1897. If we have to push it and chase it to 215, we've got all the caisson material here we need to do that. The fact that the team believes they're digging through the chapel shaft is an encouraging sign. But now the burning question is, once TOT-1 descends below 200 feet, then encounter the legendary vault. Later that afternoon.
What is that?
This looks like it's part of the tool. Yeah. It is an exciting moment for the organic team in the market area. That could be a really old tool, though. Yeah. After reaching a depth of more than 160 feet in the TOT-1 shaft, which is deeper than any previous treasure hunters have ever explored, Marty Enoch and metal detection expert Gary Drake have just made a potentially important discovery. You can see the striations in it. Look at that. That's some old iron there. Yeah, it is. There's one below the chapel shaft. Yeah, exactly. This is good. That could be a really old tool, though. I bet that's like an old pickaxe. The tip of a pickaxe, maybe? You see how it comes down?
Yeah, it's a bit of a curve like that.
Yeah. A possible fragment of a hand-wrought pickaxe found at a depth of over 160 feet in TOT-1. What a sweet find. In 2019, while excavating the shaft less than 5 feet to the northeast, known as RF1. That's an old pickaxe, a broken pickaxe? The organic team recovered part of a similar pickaxe. That's something, man. And just 2 weeks ago, while visiting Malta,
It's just absolutely incredible.
where the team was shown a vast network of 16th century underground tunnels with features that matched the reported original design of the money pit.
This was found below 145 feet in the ground.
Historian Matthew Balzac suggested that these exact kinds of tools were used by the Knights of Malta.
Pickaxes were used in the digging of underground tunnels.
This is the beginning. Yeah, you just finished this little area? Yeah, something. Yep. Is it possible that Marty and Gary have just discovered another ancient tunneling tool that may help the team identify who is behind the Aladdin mystery?
That is a very old piece of a tool of some sort. It's all wrought iron. Yeah. Perhaps the most significant thing from TOT-1 so far is this big chunk of metal that Gary and I found. Well over any search area that we so what is this metal artifact?
Look how heavy that is. Yeah, that's a whole bit.
So this thing could tell us, right, maybe the key one thing we were looking for, but it could be a sort of located matters. Because big brother.
See, you got kind of on the fly.
We got one thing we're talking about. We believe we're below the chapel shaft a little bit. Considering we're a relatively modern town, this looks really nice.
I know what they did. Can't wait to see what Carmen Lake says about that as well.
Makes you think we're on the right track.
Absolutely. Adam, how's everybody doing? Hey, Billy. Hey. Well, to give you a bit of an update, we're gonna call her for the day here. Makes sense. We're at about 171 feet. So that's where we want to be. Right. Tomorrow could be the day. Yeah. So we'll see everybody in the morning. Bright and early, I imagine. Bright and early. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Adam. Into the solution channel we go. Into the void. Into the void. I have every expectation based on this location and all the history, all the narrative, all the things that have been found today. We should be hopeful. Where can we go to bed? We're gonna get up to this. Let's go. Alright? We got a really good chance tomorrow. Sounds good to me. Well, look at here. How's everybody? Good. How are you? How you doing? Rick and other members of the team welcome blacksmithing expert Carmen Lake to the Oak Island lab. This came out of calling the one thing. Leaving here to have him examine the believed pickaxe that was found one day ago in the TOT-1 spoils. We have sought to find irrefutable proof of men working in the money pit at depth. Lo and behold, this item comes out. The interesting thing about this artifact is the depth. It was really deep. Okay. Well, it's a fairly chunky piece. Not from some other piece that is extremely different. Also, if you look at it, you see the grains, and the grains are starting to fold. Beat them. They do start to fold up the last pattern. So this is, we think we bandits. That's something that you infer that it is stone versus level. All of that is definition of scan of this?
Yeah. So this is actually the cross section of that piece. So there was that.
So in addition to part of the pickaxe that we have in all pickaxe, we look at something just like the program. See line tools, this shape, this size was from 1500s, maybe early 60s. It's a tool that was used for tools. Yeah, get rid of rocks or smashing rocks out. It's digging. In the Oak Island laboratory, blacksmithing expert Carmen Lake has just shared his assessment that the pickaxe, recovered from more than 160 feet deep in the TOT-1 shaft, could predate the discovery of the money pit by nearly 3 centuries.
So based on the composition, we got potassium, we got phosphorus, sulfur, magnesium. So based on the impurities I'm seeing here, these are indicative of, I would say, between the 1500s and 1700s as well.
Wow, so it's way before the story of the money pit. 1790s. Absolutely. This represents something very early. Tools such as this having been used in rock. The dates seem to line up with the Knights of Malta having a presence in Nova Scotia. It's all possibly confirming that this location for the TOT-1 caisson is an area of original work. This could be a very important connection that needs to be followed up on. I think maybe close to the treasure. Has the team found a tool that was used in an operation to hide something of great value in the original money pit? If so, might it represent another critical clue that may connect the Knights of Malta and priceless religious treasures to the Oak Island mystery? I mean, my big takeaway from that is the amount of work and abuse that took. So that really speaks to how much labor it took to do whatever it is that works. A long time ago. Yes. This is pretty good. Your approach, your perspective, and this perspective, and there's perspective that's negative, it's going to take on this. Thank you for your participation. Thank you. Thanks everybody. See you later. On lot 4, located on the western side of the island, you know what, mate? There's only one way to find out what is in the spoils, and that's to get the old magic wand struck up. Peter Vernetti and metal detection expert Gary Drayton are continuing to search through a large pile of spoils that were recently removed from a mysterious rounded stone foundation located nearby on Lot 5. A foundation near the shoreline where the team has uncovered a number of potentially critical clues. These include valuable 17th century Venetian trade beads, a mortar-like material that matches soils that have been recovered from over 100 feet deep in the Money Pit area, and iron tools that have been scientifically linked to the birthplace of Sir William Phipps, the 17th century English politician and naval officer who some believe buried a massive hoard of Spanish silver on Oak Island back in 1687. Came back on the line, I was going this direction.
Yep. Lot 5 could be an absolute integral part of telling the story around.
That's a great signal.
Yeah.
And it was just that.
We have a lot of artifacts and support them. And that is why we continue them on.
Let me try this boy. Sounds great. What's this? What we got here? Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what it looks like, mate. Piece of copper. You can see, for some reason or other, it got snapped in. Oh, look at that. See those rivets on the back? Yeah, this is, I believe, some kind of belt plate. Now, it could have been off a bag, a satchel, or it could have been on a soldier or sailor's uniform. Back in the day, a lot of military forces, they used to have a lot of decorations on the uniform, and especially on the bags that they used to carry around. A possible decorative military plate. If so, could it be connected to the iron tools that the team has found in the nearby foundation on Lot 5, and potentially offer the team more evidence of who created the feature, and perhaps buried valuables in the Money Pit? There's a really good chance that there could be some military insignia or regimental numbers on this. Okay, mate, we'll put it in the bag and we'll find those answers out back at the lab.
I know that we found other military buttons and things in and around the feature itself, so if that ties in and we're able to get a regiment number, it might tell us who was there.
Yeah. Okay, mate, that's in the bag, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Emma tells us about this.
Perfect.
Now, mate, let's keep grinding and finding. Later that morning. Hey, Carmen, welcome to the lab.
Welcome, man.
What do you get? You? Oh, mate. In the Oak Island lab, Craig and other members of the team meet with blacksmithing expert Carmen Lang. He has come to examine the mysterious copper plate that was found 1 day ago in the spoils from the round feature on Lot 5. To me, this copper one looks like it's a bell plate. Can you tell us about that? No, it is copper. You see that there's two little rivets on there? Yeah. It doesn't look like it had a phone curve, so it comes up in. Like, looks like a nameplate to me. What could it mean? Have you scanned this one out?
Yeah.
Earlier this morning, Emma Colgan analyzed the artifact with the Skyscan 1273 CT scanner, a device that emits non-destructive X-ray radiation in order to reveal an object's finer details. She also scanned using the X-ray fluorescence spectrometer to identify the elements in its composition, which can help determine when it was created.
So it is a copper alloy. It's a copper alloy, copper, zinc, some iron, lead, arsenic is also in here.
The metallurgy increase base.
That arsenic does make it colder. So the presence of arsenic as an alloying element could push the date back to the 1600s. I'm not 100% on that. However, it is in the realm of possibility because it is a metal that starts to fade out throughout the later 1700s.
That's great. It is a potentially historic moment for the Oak Island team. According to the composition of the copper plate that was unearthed in the rounded feature on Lot 5, archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan believes that it may predate the discovery of the money pit by more than a century.
I mean, if we are saying that that is late 1600s, does it not fit in with the possibility that Phipps was on Lot 5 doing something? Phipps had discovered the Concepcion, which was a sunken treasure ship.
Yeah, seems like you're finding more artifacts to lend it up there. Yeah, there is definitely plausibility for it. Many people are actually familiar with William Phipps's discovery of the Concepcion back in 1687. We know that Phipps found silver on the Concepcion, and I believe some of the treasure from the Concepcion was secreted to Oak Island.
Thanks to the research of 32nd degree Freemason Scott Clark, the Oak Island team has found a prime suspect for who may have been behind the 230-year-old mystery, Sir William Phipps. In 1687, the English politician and naval captain made 2 successful salvages of the famed Spanish treasure known as the Concepcion, which sank off the coast of the Dominican Republic in 1641, while carrying more than 100 tons of silver, gold, and jewels. However, after recovering more than 34 tons of the valuables during his first mission, when he returned to the wreck with the help of a Freemason named Captain Andrew Belcher, Phipps delivered less than 5 additional tons of treasure to the English crown.
The Belcher and his comrades were actually transferring treasure from the Concepcion to the Oak Island area. That is remarkable. If it was here in the late 1600s, that's not out of the range of possibility for construction of the feature. The construction style seems hurried, and it also seems slightly older style.
If the team can prove that Sir William Phipps and Andrew Belcher are connected to the rounded feature on Lot 5, could that also explain who constructed the vault in the swamp where former landowner Anthony Graves may have discovered a cache of Spanish silver? And if so, might that also reveal who created the Eye of the Swamp as a secret calling card?
Yeah, to me, it's this treasure associated with Phipps. It's an odd story that's going on in Lot 5 and in the swamp.
Absolutely.
To have all these significant clues, or important clues, it certainly encompasses the Sir William Phipps expeditions. But there's no smoking gun here. We don't have that yet. But finding more vaults in the swamp or on Lot 5 couldn't be proven. There's certainly more work to be done, and that in and of itself is a little bit of the treasure.
Carmen, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Let's get back after it.
Yep,
Now let's go.
thanks.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Carmen. This side's advancing pretty easily.
It
Look
is.
how much it drops when they turn it.
Good progress.
A day of unrivaled hope and anticipation has begun on Oak Island for brothers Rick and Marty Lagina and their team.
Yeah, so. What's going on?
The pressures are starting to drop. It's definitely a sound. Like when there's something.
And that is because in the fabled Money Pit area, they are conducting a massive excavation that may soon reveal the answers to the 230-year-old treasure mystery.
The dig is at 95 feet. So about 3 feet away from that target area. Yeah.
After breaking ground 1 week ago,
Nice job. You're awesome.
under the supervision of Vanessa Lucida and the company Rock Equipment, along with representatives from SB Canada.
This is great. What's it do?
A 7-foot diameter steel shaft, dubbed True Believer 1, has reached a depth of nearly 100 feet and money pit. First, it is in this area where recent groundwater tests have revealed high traces of precious metals below the 100-foot level. Second, it is near that depth where the team has retrieved remnants of a mysterious wooden tunnel.
This looks like the vault.
And third, it is where a previous core drilling operation this year recovered possible evidence, approximately 150 feet deep, of the fabled Chapel Vault, a 7-foot-high container that was first reported by treasure hunters Frederick Blair at William Chapel back in 1897.
Really interesting. For the last 4 feet, the casing has gone in ridiculously easy.
Oh, really?
We are not oscillating. That casing is just going in.
Is this strong?
Yes.
What do you think it might be?
This would either mean sand or easy soft soil. 2, a cavity, right? Some void or something like that we are just installing it through.
We're still about 3.5 feet away from our very first target horizon, and that is 98.5 to 99. We hit the top of what we think might be a tunnel. But,
So we'll watch what the ground's bringing up and what that material is.
yeah, that's going to be an imperative, right?
Yeah.
As the TV-1 shaft advances deeper towards the possible tunnel, an 18.5-ton tool known as a hammer crab is being used to bring the spoils and hopefully evidence of man-made workings to the surface.
At the end of the day, it's what comes out of the hole that probably tells us exactly what we're into. Patience will ultimately carry the day. We're approaching the depth of the tunnel. You should encounter a bottom if it is indeed a tunnel. Is it top, bottom, or sidewalls? So my hope is that this will be very definitive in supporting the idea that there was a tunnel at this depth. We the fellowship are watching the hill. We really have high hopes that the very next swoop, every time there's going to be something hugely meaningful. Ooh, look at that! Wood, baby. Yeah.
We're at about 110, 111 feet right now, which is the very end of the first zone of interest. That's a lot of wood we're bringing out.
That is all show timber, it's kind of like a tunnel.
Yeah. I agree, Gary. It looks like a tunnel.
Yeah, it does. See if there's anything in that tunnel. Hey Terry, an interesting piece of wood line.
Yeah.
It's got grooves and
Look at that. Let's show it to Mark.
well, man.
What do you think of that, Mark? That's an interesting.
Yeah, that's Mark.
Yep.
Number 3 there. Okay.
This looks like a pretty distinct tree to me. And look, you got a dowel there.
It's the same as the U-shaped structure, and it employs the same construction.
Same construction methodology for sure.
I think that's really cool. Yeah.
It's basically the oldest looking wood we've found. Could be the cribbing from the depths of the money pit.
I think we've been fairly convinced that the TV1 area is roughly the site of the original money pit. There's a lot of evidence that there is still something here. We're zeroing in on possibly finding the treasure.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey,
Vanessa,
I had some new numbers for you guys.
you got it.
We just took a measurement. We're at 117 to dig.
And then, what we're really chasing is the treasure vault up 250 feet.
Is it possible that the Laginas and their team might soon be able to finally reveal the truth?
Alright, keep digging.
Full speed ahead.
Hands up.
An intense situation is developing in the money pit area.
Yeah, one deputy is bringing the team around right now.
Okay, 116.
Upon reaching a depth of 160 feet in the TV1 shaft, when the team hopes to encounter a concrete encased shaft known as the Chapel Vault, the steel casings have hit a mysterious obstruction.
But she cut through it.
Sorry, to.
As eager as the team is to find out what they may have discovered, it could take some time for the caisson to replace the obstruction and to find a hammer grab to bring more spoils and potential valuables to the surface.
They want to get you down.
So we gotta get down there.
We'll get through it.
Later that afternoon,
Our pressures are dropping. So that means whatever we're cutting through is hard at first, but we're cutting right through it. So my dig is at 160 feet.
Marty Lagina has joined Rick and other members of the team in the Money Pit area. Now that the caisson has breached the possible obstruction, a breakthrough discovery could be just moments away.
Dig's at 160.
Yeah.
It could be the treasure vaults. We're about to get into totally new territory.
Yep.
So, the normal high intensity is heightened in this case because we're very close to the vault. Now we're thinking, hey, the next thing is going to be a handful of doubloons or something, a chalice, something. We really are thinking you can feel it. So you feeling those tremors occasionally? I just did.
That ain't good.
It's caving. Hey, stop! You caving in. Holy shit.
After more than 2 centuries of previous treasure hunting activities,
Let's go look.
which have left abandoned tunnels and backfilled shafts buried across the Money Pit area, the ground surrounding and beneath TV1 suddenly starts to collapse.
This is a huge deal. Some disasters occur.
You want to look up in there, mate? You can see it starting to cave.
Oh my god, yeah. There's only a certain amount of fire that's spreading up very massive oscillator. And that's the ground. If the ground is just caving away, the whole thing could cave. I am very concerned about this. This is not good.
It's 30 feet tall.
Oh, that is huge.
It's a lot of material.
Yeah, but it suggests there's something about how solid it was. But I'm hearing down. The situation appears somewhat grave. Something's happening underground that is taking an enormous amount of material and solid. Will we be able, if that's the case, this was the site we're in now, is this becoming unsafe? On where we have to move the oscillator and we have to move off of this area, which is our priority target number 1. So there are a lot of issues going on. It's unlikely we're really going to advance this casing. We'd like to proceed if it's safe.
We're far from quitting right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to backfill that area, and then we're going to be monitoring, every couple of feet, making sure we're not having any caving. But it is setting us back a little bit. We keep losing the material. I can't guarantee we're going to keep advancing.
If that stabilizes and we do, we'll keep going. Just see what happens. Yeah. Yes.
Just as the team may be closing in on answers and a fabled treasure vault, their most ambitious operation to reveal both is now in jeopardy. Will Oak Island prevail once again and keep hold of its precious secrets? Or can Rick, Marty, Craig, and their team outmaneuver a mystery that has lasted for more than 2 centuries?
There's got to be something getting really close to the shore and there of a lot of history. We know there's been a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Rick, his nephew Alex, metal detection expert Gary Drake, and Billy Garrow prepare to begin excavating near the mysterious cobblestone pathway in the northern region of the swamp.
Which side we're going to put the spoils on?
Probably over this way, I think.
Okay, now get ready for them. Count all those silver coins. Alright, get ready for the spoils. Smells like fire.
That's how you know we haven't done here before.
Yeah.
It's important to understand the swamp. There are some answers to it. I truly believe that.
Some sort of answers that are firm value this point. A multi-generational attempt to hide something like that. couple more here running this way. Big ones.
Yeah.
So somebody was out here doing something.
There's the bottom. Ladder rocks there. Over under that wood there. Stone in there, in amongst the.
Yeah, see that?
This is a lot like the cobbles from the paved area. Same kind of rock.
Yeah, same kind of rock.
Which you don't really see on the beach.
Yeah, it's quite a collection of rock though.
Yeah.
What have we found? Well, we don't know. There's that log embedded north-south, and then there's some big timbers running east-west. Appears to be on top.
Right, and then also in the corner down there, there's all those rocks on top of each other. No material in between. I remember when Dr. Spooner looked at the paved area, he said that's not common in nature.
There's a lot of questions here. Let's stand down and figure out a way to take advantage of what we might be seeing. But first we need to see what Tom says. So,
Okay. Let's stand down for that.
stand down now. But there's other work to do.
Yep.
As a new day begins on Oak Island. With this view, what Tom observed, the mysterious wood and stone feature that was uncovered just 1 day ago.
It's at least 14 feet up, yes. We never even found that end, and we never even found this end. It's underneath a substantial wood structure. I don't think it was done by us, or my dad. You know, to get those size logs out here, it's quite a job. You know, I can't imagine what somebody really did.
The other thing is we got rocks in a row underneath. That's almost a perfect wall.
Yeah. If you're saying that probably not beds and that we didn't know of it, then it makes it certainly very interesting. It's very apparent from the first log we uncovered that it's no more. Right here. That's not a small log there. What the heck is going on? There are two parts of the construction. There are what I call the carrying logs. They are the support of the structure. And then there are what I call the platform logs, which sit on top of the carrying logs. And there are multiples of those. There's one here running this way, and there's another one there running that way. And it was Alex who noticed the cobbles at the bottom of the dig, an intentional layer of cobble laid down for some purpose. I don't know its relevance to furthering our understanding of the mystery, but it's definitely quite large.
This is a mystery.
Yeah. And it's massive. I mean, this would carry tremendous amount of weight. I think you're right. What do you make, Larry?
It's odd.
That's not sufficient. We have enough for Dr. Spooner to make a pretty good evaluation right now.
Yeah.
I think we can get Dr. Spooner in. He can take the organic samples that we can date. This is unique, but Dr. Spooner can maybe tell us exactly what happened here and what progression we've done. So, we're done for today. Excellent, cool day, though. Interesting. A new discovery and how God, that's a great thing.
The following morning,
You seen anything like this before?
No, I haven't, and I haven't seen a platform like this. Going out and extends back towards land.
He's on the platform log. You see here.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, there's that one.
Yep. And it looks like it keeps on going to land.
It's almost like this. Yes. Yeah, this is a the amazing thing is how big this structure is. This was meant to carry extremely heavy transport, very stable for something very, very heavy. If you just wanted access up here, you're doing this.
For me, this is built with purpose, but to what end?
It's the first thing that we ever have found that points directly to the eye in the structure. And Dr. Spooner did work in that his core show industrial activity way back.
It's a very puzzling feature, this eye of the swamp, the all-seeing eye.
In 2019, the Oak Island team investigated a mysterious circular formation in the triangle-shaped swamp where vegetation would never grow.
Wow, that is massive. That's a big boulder.
Incredibly, after draining the area and discovering a man-made formation of boulders, they dubbed it the Eye of the Swamp due to its eerie resemblance to the Masonic symbol known as the All-Seeing Eye.
This is quite a provocative sight.
And after analyzing organic materials within the feature, Dr. Spooner presented the team with astonishing data about when it was likely created.
I'm very confident we'll hit 1680 to 1700 that disturbance took place. Really interesting. I just want to take a look at the stone at the bottom.
Is it possible that this wooden ramp and cobblestone feature were constructed at the same time as the Eye of the Swamp? But if so, by who and for what purpose?
This kind of stuff always intrigues me. See that rock? This little rock here is wedged between this piece of wood here and that rock. So if we date that lowest piece of wood that's sitting right on the rocks, we know that the rocks were put there before the age of that piece of wood. Yeah. If this feature is the same age as the Eye of the Swamp, that lines up with the William Phipps theory. Right. You know what Phipps found, so what did Phipps know?
Since 2021, the team has been investigating the theory that the 17th century English treasure hunter and politician Sir William Phipps and his Masonic associate, Captain Andrew Belcher, buried a vast cache of treasure in the money pit. In 1687, at the direction of the English crown, Phipps conducted 2 salvages of the famed Spanish treasure galleon known as the Concepcion, which sank in a hurricane near the Dominican Republic in 1641. In a controversy that bewildered many, Phipps delivered less than half of the 100 tons of silver and gold that were recorded on the ship's manifest. Now, after previously finding iron tools in the round feature on Lot 5 that have been scientifically matched to the birthplace of William Phipps, could the so-called Eye of the Swamp, and perhaps these 2 additional man-made features, offer more compelling evidence that this theory is true?
Now we just set these up for dating. Oh, we're absolutely going to get some of the clock sufficient size to facilitate that. Yeah.
The whole area seems to have some sort of reason. If you're moving through a bog, you have to have a platform from which to work. If it were 1680 dates or thereabouts, certainly one of the possible theories might be a Phipps connection.
So, we got a plan. I think we just keep pulling down this line.
Yeah, and we start finding some metals and some bobby dazzlers and top pocket finds.
Yes, hopefully.
There are still answers on that.
Yeah.
More than 4,000 miles to the east in Gozo, Malta.
Is the right entrance there for the bells ringing? Yeah. You know what? Maybe it's a good one.
Rick Lagina and other members of the team are investigating an incredible theory about the Oak Island mystery. Over the past decade, Rick, Marty, and their team have made a number of shocking discoveries that may be related to the Temple Order, such as a 14th century cross, the numerous stone structures that could date back to as early as 1200 AD.
It's just absolutely incredible.
And incredibly, just after their arrival in Valletta, Malta 1 week ago.
Is this gray? It's grayish, bluish. The legend tells of flood tunnels on the island.
Rick and the team saw underground tunnels that were built by the Knights of Malta in the 16th century